Hello students, welcome to today's English class. Today we are going to discuss a grammar topic, pronouns. Last class we discussed nouns, so today we'll discuss pronouns. I am Roopna Ravindran, Assistant Professor of English, Government Degree College, Chevalla in Rangareddy district of Telangana state. So this topic, pronouns, is part of your textbook English Made Easy, prescribed by Osmania University for first year first sem BA, BCom and BSc students. Let us move on to the topic pronouns. What are pronouns? Pronouns are actually words that are used to replace nouns in a sentence. If you have several nouns in a sentence, in order to avoid repetition, we use pronouns. Let us look at the example given here. If you are telling a story about Sarah, the story will begin to sound repetitive if we use repeating Sarah all over again. So in order to avoid that repetition, we use pronouns. For example, Sarah has always loved fashion. Sarah announced that Sarah wants to go to fashion school. So it looks boring when the name is repeated again and again and again. So what do we say? We use pronouns like she and her in place of Sarah. Sarah has always loved fashion. She announced that she wants to go to fashion school. So depending upon the situation in which the name is used, we use different kinds of pronouns. There are different subtypes in pronouns. So they include personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, reciprocal pronouns, reflexive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, so and so. Relative pronouns are there, indefinite pronouns are there. So we look at all these pronouns one by one in a particular slide, and then after each discussing about each pronoun, I'll give you exercise so that you will be very clear about the topic. Let us move on to the next slide. Here we have personal pronouns. So, personal pronouns are of two types. One is subject pronoun and the other one is object pronouns. So, subject pronouns are the pronouns that come as subject in a sentence. So, they are I, we, you, he, she, it and they. Object pronouns are the pronouns that come at the end of the sentence, or they play the role of an object in a sentence. Let us look at the examples given here. I was playing with him. So, I comes in the beginning of the sentence. It works as the subject in the sentence. So, it is called a subject pronoun. Look at the end of the same sentence. Look at the end of the same sentence. You have the pronoun him. So, him comes at the end of the sentence. It works as the object in the sentence. So, it is called object pronoun. Let us look at the next sentence. You were listening to me. Here, you is subject pronoun and me is object pronoun. So, you plays the role of a subject. Me plays the role of an object. That is why we call them subject and object pronouns. It came very fast. It is the subject pronoun. There you don't have any object pronoun here. They took the boy. They took it. The boy was talking to her. So they is subject pronoun. It is object pronoun. Again, her is object pronoun. You have two sentences there given continuously. They took it. The boy was talking to her. So, they is subject pronoun. It is object pronoun. The boy is noun there. You don't have any pronoun as subject again in the next sentence. Well, the boy was talking to her. Her is object pronoun. Let us look at this sentence. My family drives me nuts, but I love them. The sign was too far away for Henry to read it. Sarah said, She is almost finished with the application. So, in the first sentence, my family drives me nuts. So, what is the object pronoun there? You have me as object pronoun, but I love them. You have subject pronoun. Them is again object pronoun. The sign was too far for Henry to read it. So it is another object pronoun there. It can work as subject and object pronoun. You have to decide it according to the context in which it is placed. If it comes at the beginning of the sentence and if it plays the role of a subject, it will be subject pronoun. If it comes at the later part of the sentence, end of the sentence, then it becomes an object pronoun and it should play the role of an object in the sentence. Sarah said she is almost finished with the application. She is subject pronoun. She is again talking about Sarah. So it is a subject pronoun. Let us move on to the next slide. Here we have certain sentences. Some of them I have already done for you. The rest of them you have to do on your own. Let us try it now. First sentence, I like coffee. So in this sentence, I works as subject pronoun. You are clear. This topic is not very difficult. So it is very clear. And once you listen to me, then the topic will be very clear for you. Let us look at the next sentence. John helped dash. We have to use an object pronoun here. John helped me. Okay. John helped them. Both are correct. Do dash like coffee. Which pronoun will you use? Which subject pronoun will you use? Yes, you can use you or they. Do they like coffee? Do you like coffee? John loves you. Here you is an object pronoun. You also works as subject and object pronoun. Next sentence, dash runs fast. Which subject pronoun will you use here? You have to see the subject verb agreement also. See the verb, it is runs. In simple present tense, when do you use verb plus s? When the subject is singular. So you have to use a singular pronoun here. She runs fast. He runs fast. It runs fast. If you are talking about a dog or cat, then you have to mention it. Did Ram beat him? Him is an object pronoun there. Dash is clever. Again you have to check the subject verb agreement. Verb is singular, that is. Okay. So which one will you use? Which subject pronoun will you use? She is clever. He is clever. It is clever. Does Mary know her? Her is an object pronoun there. It doesn't work. It is subject pronoun there. So I hope you can do the rest of the sentences. They are not very tough. They are easy. Try to do it on your own. Let us move on to the next type of pronouns, that is possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns come in two flavors. Okay, you have limiting ones and also absolute ones. My, your, our, its, her, his, her, their, whose, etc. are used to show that something belongs to an antecedent. Antecedent means the person or thing that you are talking about. Let us look at the examples given here. That car is hers. So it is a possessive pronoun. Hers is a possessive pronoun. Your book is old. Mine is new. Your is a possessive adjective and mine is a possessive pronoun. The ones that I have given on the left hand side are called possessive adjectives and the ones on the right hand side are called possessive pronouns. Next, your, yours. So let us look at the third example. The pen on the table is mine. Again, mine is a possessive pronoun. The smallest cup is yours. So let me underline the possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives here. The car is hers, hers. Mine is new. The table is mine. The small cup is yours. And here you have your book also. Okay. I hope this is clear for you. Possessive pronouns continued. Let us look at this example. Sarah is working on her application. You are possessing something. The application is yours. That is why you are using her application, and it comes as an adjective there. It comes before the thing that you are talking about. That is why it is called a possessive adjective. Her application. Just put me back on my bike. My bike. Again, you are talking about the bike you are possessing, and you are using the pronoun just before it. So it is called a possessive adjective. The students practice their presentation after school. You look at this bold word, there comes before presentation. So presentation is the antecedent here. Presentation is the word that I am talking about. So I am possessing the presentation. That is why I have used there just before the antecedent, just before the presentation. Now, absolute possessive pronouns are real possessive pronouns. Whatever we talked about till now are also called possessive adjectives. Now, the absolute possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. The absolute forms can be substituted for the thing that belongs to the antecedent. Here, you will not have the thing mentioned just after the possessive pronoun, but it can be substituted, it seems. So, let us look at the sentence. Are you finished with your application? That is the first question. So, Sarah already finished hers. I'll underline. Okay. So, let us look at this sentence. Are you finished with your application? There it is a possessive adjective because you have the word application just after the pronoun. Let us look at the next sentence. Sarah already finished hers. So here it is an absolute possessive pronoun because you do not have application mentioned here. They are not telling her application. They are just mentioning hers. That is why it is called absolute possessive pronouns. I think you are clear about the difference now. I'll explain it again. Are you finished with your application? So you are talking about application. So whatever you are talking about is called antecedent. So application is antecedent here. And just before the antecedent application, you are using the pronoun. So it is called a possessive adjective, and that is your in this sentence. Now look at the next sentence. Sarah already finished hers. Here you don't have application, but we know that you are talking about application. It is substituted by another possessive pronoun. So in this case, it is called an absolute possessive pronoun. What is the absolute possessive pronoun here? Hers is absolute possessive pronoun. Next sentence, the blue bike is mine. Again, you have mine as a word here. Okay, so it is an absolute possessive pronoun. I practiced my speech and the students practiced theirs. Again, it is a possessive pronoun, absolute possessive pronoun. Let us look at the sentences given here. There are 10 sentences in the exercise given below. Let us read it. I have a car. My car is red. So, my is a possessive adjective. Next one. You have a house. Your house is beautiful. Your is a possessive adjective because you are talking about house and you have put the pronoun just before the word house. He is married. His wife's name is Sudha. His is a possessive adjective. Your house is small. My house is bigger than yours. Okay. My is a possessive adjective there, and yours is a possessive pronoun there. Possessive, absolute possessive pronoun there. Yours. Yours is absolute possessive pronoun. I like her car. So here her is a possessive adjective and I like hers. Her is a possessive pronoun. This is our car. Are is possessive adjective. This is ours. Ours is a possessive pronoun. Clear? Are you Spanish? No, I am not. Are you and Sally American? No, we are from the UK. Tony and I want to. So look at the examples on your own. Let us go to the next type of pronoun, that is reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns end in self or selves. Okay. So this reflexive pronouns are used when both the subject and the object of a verb refer to the same person or thing. So here you are talking about the subject and object are talking about same person or thing. Look at this example. Henry cursed himself for his poor eyesight. They booked themselves a room at the resort. So themselves is a reflexive pronoun over there. Themselves is a reflexive pronoun. I told myself it was nothing. Myself is again a reflexive pronoun there. So the pronouns the pronouns ending with self or selves. Self in the case if it is singular, selves in the case if it is plural. If there is one, then you use self. If there are more people or things, you use selves. Okay. So examples of reflexive pronouns are myself, ourselves, yourself, yourselves, himself, herself, itself, themselves, etc. Now let us look at these examples given here. We didn't decorate it ourselves. So the subject here is we. There are many people. That is why we are using the reflexive pronoun ourselves. Someone else did it for us. Next, he cut himself on the broken glass. So himself, we are talking about he. And that is why we are using the reflexive pronoun himself. She made herself a cup of tea. Herself is a reflexive pronoun. Parents often blame themselves for the way their children behave. Themselves is reflexive pronoun. The director of the company himself wrote to us to apologize for the dreadful service. So himself, we are mentioning about the director. That is why we are using the reflexive pronoun, singular reflexive pronoun himself. Each morning I brush my teeth and stare at myself in the mirror. Are you clear? Because the subject is I and you have the subject and object same person or thing. So you use it the self form of I, that is myself. Dad and I painted the trailer. Dad and I painted the trailer dash ourselves, because both of us are there. We use ourselves. The children made holiday decorations by, we don't know the children, they are somebody else. So what do you use? Themselves. Children made holiday decorations by themselves. Paul copies his friend's homework instead of doing it himself. Okay, we are talking about Paul. That is why we are using the reflexive pronoun himself. Please make dash at home while you wait. You. So what you use? Yourself. Okay, we are mentioning about only one person. We use yourself. If there are a lot of people and the subject is you, what do you use? Yourselves. Okay. So I hope you are clear about reflexive pronouns. The pronouns that end in self or selves are called reflexive pronouns. Next you have relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are used to connect relative clauses to independent clauses. Often this is to give an additional information, or you have to mention something in addition to what is mentioned in the beginning of the sentence. So what are relative pronouns? Who, whom, whose, which, what, whoever, whatever, whichever, that. So all these words are called relative pronouns. It is these kinds of relative pronouns are used to show the relation within the sentence. Let us look at this example. The woman who called earlier didn't leave a message. So we are talking about a person. That is why we are using the relative pronoun who. Okay. Yeah, let us move on to the next sentence. All the dogs that got adopted today will be loved. That, because we are talking about dogs. My car, which is nearly 20 years old, still runs well. We are talking about a thing, a vehicle. So we use the relative pronoun which. Let us look at the exercise given here. We have around 10 sentences given. We don't know the person who donated this money. We are talking about a person. When we talk about the person, a person, we use the relative pronoun who. We drove past my school, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. We are talking about a school. That is why we use the word which. We can use that also. Even if you use that, it is correct. He went to the school that my father went to. So you are clear now. There are some very good art books which you can get ideas from. You can replace which with that. It's not a problem. Next sentence, fifth sentence. He is marrying a girl whose family doesn't seem to like him. So he's going to marry a girl whose family doesn't like him at all. So we are talking about a girl's family. So that is why we are using the word whose. The festival dash lasted all day, ended up with a banquet. So which one will you use? You can use either which or that. Next one. I'm looking for someone dash can watch my dog while I go on vacation. You are talking about someone. So you have to use the relative pronoun who. Next sentence, eighth sentence. The police needed details dash could help identify the robber. You can use which or that. Next, I would like to take you to a cafe dash serves excellent coffee. Which serves excellent coffee. The function hall in dash, the dance was held, housed about 200 people. In which is the correct answer. Next one is demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are used to demonstrate certain things or certain people who are near or far away from you. So if they are near, then you use the word this and these according to the number. If there is one person, you say this. If there are more people, then you use the word these. If the thing is far away from you, then you use the demonstrative pronoun that. If there are a lot of things far away from you and you're talking about that, you use the pronoun, demonstrative pronoun those. This is the best thing I have heard all day. Here. Try smelling these. There are many things. That is why we are using the pronoun these. That is used for singular items that are far away. Those is used for multiple items that are far away. You have here the usage. Okay. This is used for singular items that are nearby, whereas that is used for singular items that are far away. Those is used for multiple items that are far away, and these are used for multiple items that are nearby. So it is clear for you. Let us look at these 10 sentences. This was my mother's ring. So I have my mother's ring in my hand. That is why I am talking about it, and I am using the pronoun this. Next one, that looks like a car. I am looking at the road, it seems, and I am talking about that car which passes by the road. So I am using the demonstrative pronoun that. Next one, these are nice shoes. Maybe I am wearing the shoes and I am talking about the shoes that I have already worn. That is why I am using the demonstrative pronoun these. So depending upon the situations, depending upon whether the thing or person is nearby or far away from you, you choose the correct demonstrative pronoun. The fourth sentence, those look like riper than the apples on my tree. Those means those apples are far away from you. That is why you are using the demonstrative pronoun those. Fifth one, those aren't swans, they are geese. So swans are far away from you. You are not able to properly see it. That is why you are correcting somebody else and saying those aren't swans, they are geese. Okay, the rest of the 5 sentences you do on your own. Next type of pronoun is indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronouns are many. Okay, what are they? The words like all, any, anyone, anything, each, everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, nobody, none, several, some, somebody, someone, another, both, either, one, several. Okay, so these are all indefinite pronouns. They are used when you need to refer to a person or thing that doesn't need to be specifically identified. Example, everybody was late to work because of the traffic jam. You are not mentioning the names. You are not particularly identifying the people. That is why you are generally telling everybody, and you are using an indefinite pronoun over there. It matters more to some than others. Some is a indefinite pronoun. I'll underline the word. Nobody knows the trouble I have seen. Nobody is again an indefinite pronoun. When indefinite pronouns function as subjects of a sentence or clause, they usually take singular verbs. So this is again about the subject-verb agreement. If the indefinite pronoun comes in the beginning of the sentence and it plays the role of a subject, then the verb that comes after the indefinite pronoun will be singular. Hope I am clear. Let us look at these sentences. Here you have 10 sentences here. Let us look at these sentences, and I'll also talk about the subject and verb agreement in these sentences so that it will be very clear for you. First sentence, everyone is sleeping in my bed. My friends have come, so all my friends are sleeping in my bed. Everyone is the indefinite pronoun here. What is the verb that is used here? Verb is sleeping. Oh, so is singular. So after the indefinite pronoun, you are sure to use a singular verb. Next is, no one is talking about. No one is talking to me. No one is indefinite pronoun. Is again singular. I gave everything to Sally. Everything is indefinite pronoun. He saw something in the garden. Something is indefinite pronoun. There is nothing to eat. Okay, so you can work on the next 5 sentences. You can choose any of the indefinite pronoun depending upon the context in which it comes. When there are so many people, then you use many. When there is nothing, then you use the word none. When there is no one, then you can use nobody, none. Depending upon the situation, you choose the correct indefinite pronoun. Let us go to the reciprocal pronoun. Reciprocal pronouns are used when you have two things or two subjects acting in the same way towards each other. Okay, so there are two reciprocal pronouns. They are each other and one another. When there are two things or two people, you use the word each other. When there are many and we are talking about reciprocating to each of them, then you use one another. Here the action is reciprocated. Okay, John talks to Mary and Mary talks to John. So they are talking to each other, you say, because there are two people. I give you a present and you give me a present. We exchange presents between each other because we are only two people. The dog bites and the cat, dog bites the cat and the cat bites the dog. So again it is a reciprocation of action. So there also you use the word each other. Let us look at these examples. First one you do on your own. Let me read the second one. Peter and David hate each other. There are two people. So you use the word each other. Third sentence. The 10 prisoners were all blaming one another. There are 10 people. That is why you are using the word one another and not each other. Next, fifth sentence. We gave each other gifts. There are two of us. That is why we gave each other. Why don't you believe each other? I'm talking about a husband and wife who are in a fight. So I'm asking them, why don't you believe each other? Two people. They can't see each other. So rest of the sentences you work on your own. Next one is interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns mostly use words starting with WH words. So they are asked to question. Interrogation means to question. Example, who wants a bag of jelly beans? Who is interrogative pronoun there? What is your name? What is interrogative pronoun there? Which movie do you want to watch? Which is interrogative pronoun there? Whose jacket is this? Whose is an interrogative pronoun. Let us read the first 5 sentences. The rest of the things you can read on your own and you can find the answers. These are not very difficult at all. What do you want for dinner? What is interrogative pronoun. Which color do you prefer? Which is interrogative pronoun. Which of these ladies is your mother? Which is interrogative pronoun. Whom did you speak to? Whom is interrogative pronoun. Dash of these books have you read? Which of these books have you read? When you are talking about things, you use which. When you are talking about a person, you use whose. When you are talking about some relation, then you use whose. Okay. A relation between a person and a thing. If it is relation between a person and a person, you use whom. Now, yes, that's all for today. I hope you are pretty clear with the pronouns that I have discussed so far. So you can do the textual exercises on your own. That is all for today. Thank you, students. Thank you for listening.